In the previous video, we told you about the most unusual inhabitants of South America. Among them were birds. Today, we will continue the story about the feathered representatives of the continent. South America is a birdwatcher's paradise, with more species than any other continent. Brazil has almost 2,000 species alone, while Argentina can boast 1,000, and Chile has 500. Many may already be familiar to you from their annual migration. Subscribe to the channel, watch the video to the end, and enjoy the views of unusual birds. So, let's begin. Harpy Eagle. The Harpy Eagle is considered one of the most powerful and largest raptors globally. The length of the rear talons is about 4 to 5 inches, just the same as a grizzly bear's claws. Those talons give the harpy enough power and grip to lift prey up to their own weight. Native to Central and South America, it was named for the harpies of Greek mythology, gruesome women with the bodies of birds. Across the Americas, the harpy has been revered as a divine creature. As top predators in their food chain, harpies feed on sloths, opossums, and monkeys. This eagle is a silent predator that glides across the forest like a stealth drone, despite its wingspan reaching up to 2 meters. Still, it won't fly long distances to conserve energy and strength to catch and lift small animals weighing 17 pounds. Wander and stalking its prey is not their game, and instead, it sits and patiently waits until they come along. Best places to spot the harpy eagle birds in South America: the Brazilian Amazon, where it feeds on sloths; Panama, Venezuela, both Guianas, Belize, Ecuadorian Amazon, and the Brazilian Pantanal. Toucan. With a yellow-orange bill a third as long as its entire body, the toucan is a remarkable sight and one of the most handsome birds in South America. It lives in tropical forests, gathering in small flocks and making a frog-like din. The bill is a lot lighter than it looks, being made of honeycombed keratin. Its length and serrated edge are useful to reach and peel the fruit it feeds on. Despite that light weight, it's no surprise that the unbalanced-looking bird prefers to hop rather than fly. Its bright colors actually work well as camouflage in the bright light and dark shadows of the forest. Despite being hunted for the pet trade, toucans still occupy a huge range in South America. You may see them in eastern and southern Brazil, Bolivia, Paraguay, and into northern Argentina. Red-legged cormorant. This unusual cormorant stands out from others of the species in that it doesn't spread its wings to dry out. It is also a solitary bird, hunting alone or in pairs. Their red legs, white throat patch, and yellow-red hooked beaks make these cormorants easy to identify. They are gray with a lighter color belly and stand about 30 inches tall. Red-legged cormorants are found all along the Atlantic coast of Chile and around the Strait of Magellan in the extreme southern coast of Argentina. Look out for them nesting on rock cliffs or resting on jetties. They feed inshore, rarely more than a mile or so from home. Eels and anchovies make up their diet, along with some crustaceans. The birds can dive up to 30 feet underwater to catch prey, swimming at speed with webbed feet. Once out of the water, they flick any catch into the air to swallow it head first.
Andian Condor. Among the world's very largest flying birds, the Andean condor has a wingspan of over 10 feet. A symbol of the Andean region and arguably the most majestic of birds in South America, it appears on the national crests of Bolivia, Chile, Colombia, and Ecuador. Despite this high public profile, the bird faces extinction due to habitat loss, poaching, and pesticides. It also has a very slow rate of reproduction, with a mating pair producing 1 chick every 2 years. Its huge size is adapted to its mountain habitat, where condors live at heights up to 16,000 dive. High altitudes and strong winds help these 30-rupee birds become airborne and soar for miles. Andean condors are vultures with the distinctive bald head of the species. Feeding on carrion, they perform an important function in clearing up dead wildlife.
Greater rhea. The largest bird in the Americas, never mind in South America, roams the open grasslands of Brazil, Uruguay, and Argentina. Like an ostrich, a distant relative, It is a powerful runner and uses its large wings only for balance. Rheas gather in large flocks and are so social they will join other herd animals, such as guanacos. The birds eat leaves, fruits, and seeds, swallowing pebbles to help them digest tough cellulose. A rhea is large enough to have few predators other than cougars or feral dogs. The main threat to the population is pesticides and loss of habitat to farming. They can help farmers by eating insects, such as beetles, locusts, grasshoppers, and even scorpions. However, they also have a taste for agricultural crops such as cabbage or chard. Females mate with different males during the breeding season, leaving each with 5 to 10 eggs. This means a male may end up tending a nest of up to 80 eggs from several females. Magnificent frigate bird. With its puffed-out red throat pouch during the breeding season, this largest of the frigate birds is immediately recognizable. You'll see them all along the Atlantic coast of Brazil and in the Galapagos Islands. They are notorious food thieves, often seen harassing other seabirds until they regurgitate their food. They'll do this in flight, catching the meal before it hits the sea. The wingspan of up to 8 feet allows these South American birds to spend whole days and nights in flight. They will cover more than 100 miles between landings. This talent for soaring flight led Charles Darwin to call them the condor of the oceans. They are also known as man-o'-wars, or, because of their feeding habits, pirate birds. The 2,000 or so magnificent frigate birds on the Galapagos are genetically distinct from those elsewhere in the world. They have bred separately for hundreds of thousands of years. Inca Turn. This unusual seabird is notable for its white Salvador Dali mustache and reddish claws and beak. It is found along the Pacific coast of South America, primarily in Peru and Chile. Like other tern species, it lives on rocky cliff faces, but its habitat is under threat from guano harvesting. Commercial fishing is also attacking the food supply. Inca terns gather in large colonies of many thousand pairs. 1 or 2 eggs are laid twice a year in nests made in hollows and fissures. Their call has been compared to a cat's meow, and it's certainly distinctive. The noise of a large colony is particularly loud in the breeding season. The Inca tern feeds on anchovies and other small fish carried by the Humboldt Current. A sharp, pointed beak is perfect for catching this prey. Large flocks feed by plunge, diving, and dipping for fish near the surface. They will also steal fish scraps from sea lions. Waved albatross. The Galapagos has many species of unusual birds, but among the most exotic is the waved albatross. The only albatross species that prefers a warmer climate. It nests exclusively on the island of Hispaniola. These Galapagos birds, which mate for life, start arriving in March. They produce a single egg that hatches between mid-April and July. By January, the fledglings and their parents have left for the Pacific. It will be several years before the young birds return to mate in their turn. Mating involves a fascinating ritual of bills circling and clacking with a mooing call. Their distinctive long, bright yellow bills look even longer on the birds' small heads. Ungainly on land, even more so when landing, albatross prefer to launch themselves off cliffs for takeoff. In the air, with their 8-foot wingspan, they can soar for hours. At sea, you might spot countless birds forming vast rafts as they feed on fish, squid, and crustaceans. They roam the coastal waters of some of the best countries in South America, such as Chile, Peru, Colombia, and Ecuador. Helmeted hornbill. This strange-looking bird is found in regions like Indonesia and Malaysia, and it is sedentary. Local mythology holds it to be the guardian of the river that divides the world of the living and the underworld. It is a pretty large bird, covered with black feathers and a kind of hoof that goes from its crest to its beak. Males use it as a defensive mechanism when fighting other birds, to protect their territory. That sort of hoof is made of ivory, which is highly valued in craftsmanship. That's why this bird has been added to the list of critically endangered species. It is found on the Malay Peninsula, Sumatra, Borneo, Thailand, and Myanmar. Amazonian royal flycatcher. The Amazonian royal flycatcher, as its name suggests, can be found in different regions of South America, mainly in and around the Amazonian rainforest. It measures between 5.9 and 6.9 inches. It bears this name because it feeds on flies and other flying insects and has a crown of feathers. It is found in Mexico, south through most of Central America, and in every mainland South American country except Argentina, Chile, Paraguay, and Uruguay. Thank you for watching us. Subscribe to the channel and expand your horizons with us.